Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Excessive BS Local and Loud. My name is Bunny, and I'm here tonight with Raymond and Avery Pollock. Avery, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, so you play field hockey at Liberty. Tell us a little bit about your journey to get there. What drew you to go to Liberty?
Yeah, so I was definitely not looking at Liberty, honestly, throughout my process, but my mom was really like pushing me to go to some clinics and camps. So, like, to make her happy, I was just like, okay. I was like, oh, if I say yes to going to Liberty Clinic, like, she'll let me go to this school or this school. And I literally stepped on campus without even going to like any of the clinic yet, and I fell in love with the place. Like, it is such a beautiful campus, and I was really drawn to just the way it looked, honestly, and like the people were so nice. So I was like, oh, like, okay, maybe I like it here. And then I met the coaches at the clinic and some of the players, and I was just like, oh wait, I like really like this place. So I kept in contact with them a little bit because you can't really do too much contact with the coaches before recruiting process starts. And then once the process started, they hit me up on the first day, and I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna take the offer and I'm gonna go there.
Okay.
So with we we were talking a little bit beforehand, and we were talking about, we've done some interviews with softball players and stuff. How does that recruiting? When does that recruiting day start for you guys? And then while we're talking about recruiting, what does that look like from a high school to into that transition? And maybe some other colleges that you were interested in, or maybe had interest in you.
Yeah, recruiting has definitely changed a lot throughout the years, but for me, I couldn't talk to colleges until going into my junior fall. So it was June 15th, like that summer going into it. And like you really can't talk to them at all unless you're like a part of their clinic. Like you can email them, but they can't email you back. Like you can't text them, you can't call until that day starts. And then on June 15th, they will, like, if you're like a top prospect for them, they're gonna call you like 7 o'clock in the morning, like, and you're gonna have calls all throughout the day. And then August 5th, that's when you can start going on official visits. And yeah, for me, I my mom is a middle school field hockey coach, and she owns a club in Pennsylvania, and she played field hockey too. So I was really fortunate to have someone who knew a lot about the field hockey recruiting, and she did a really good job of like preparing me, like setting me up with like good connections and like good topics for phone calls, because I was definitely nervous for all of that, like talking to the coaches. But on the first day, I think I had 17 calls and some pretty good schools, but I ended up committing the next day to Liberty on June 16th. So I didn't really waste much time with it. I was kind of like, I know where I'm going to go. I don't want to waste people's time. I don't want to waste my time.
I understand, and that makes it, a whole different process. I get it. So, what about while we're here? Because I know this is on our topic, so I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, Bunny, and I apologize. But something new recently that's been another layer into the recruiting process is the NIL deals. So, how does that look like? How does that play in, especially in field hockey? Let's hear how it just relates all together with field hockey.
Yeah. To be honest, like it's not that big for me because I know for a lot of like I have a lot of friends on the football team, and like they talk about like, oh, like like the transfer portal is really big for some of those higher sports, like with money involved. And like money really isn't a problem with our sport because we kind of just like play because we like to play. Like we don't really transfer unless there's like actual problems. Like we're not transferring for the money and stuff. But I would say there are definitely some opportunities, and I think I've done like one, but honestly, it's not like a main focus for me when it comes to sports.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, yeah, when we played, this was unheard of, so I completely get that.
Yeah, it's also just like can be a lot of work sometimes, and I'm kind of just focused on playing. And I mean, I think it would be cool maybe like to start some NIL stuff, and we definitely have a lot of opportunities here at Liberty because there's a lot of like money and boosters and all of that, but it's just never been like my main goal, I would say.
Yeah.
So what was some of your accolades coming out of high school before you went to Liberty?
Yeah, I was an All-American. I was on the U16 outdoor national team. I was on the indoor national team as well. Like all conference, all state, all region, a lot of those things. I was top 50 player for max preps. Yeah, probably
So,
not to like sound like
no, this is the time. We
arrogant or
want it.
ego, but like there was a lot of like basically almost everything that there was for field hockey.
That's awesome. I mean, be proud of that.
Thank
Like
you.
100%. We're asking them for you to go ahead and brag on yourself. Like that's why we want your name. Tell people who you are. So that's what we love.
Thank you. I think the only thing I didn't get was the academic awards. So the all academic team. But
So with field hockey, other sports you have like a AAU, softball has their thing. Does field hockey have the same type of setup?
yeah, well, kind of. We play for our high schools and then we play for club, and I think for recruiting and stuff, club is very more like important. It's much more important than high school because you can play for like you can be really good on your high school team, but then like you go to club and there's only 2 teams in high school. There's like 10 teams for your club team. Like you could be, and I would say club is a lot more competitive as well.
That's
Okay.
kind of like the travel ball and the AAU ball that he was associating to on that 100%. So I got a question with you for myself, Bunny, and any of the viewers that are watching. It's field hockey. Can you get, besides it being played on turf or grass and ice, what is some of the main differences, rules and regulation wise for hockey to field hockey, and then what makes them similar?
Yeah, I would say the similarities are not as much as you would think. I mean, you use a stick and you're trying to get something into a cage, but other than that, like it's very different. Like it's not a contact sport. Um, there's definitely some contact, but it's not a contact sport. And we can only use one side of our stick. We can't use both sides like in hockey. And we have like this plastic hard ball that we hit around. You can't use your feet. You can, I mean, I guess you can do this in hockey too, but we like aerial the ball. Can't use your, like you can't like grab it like in hockey.
Right.
It's got to be on the ground. Yeah, we don't have offsides either. That used to be a rule, but not anymore. And then I would say it's just it's very, people would think it's a lot similar, but I don't
It's
think it
not.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it played. You can see it sometimes on Sundays like ESPN. So I've seen it played. Just not dove deep into the rules and stuff of it. But with, I guess I got to ask. So I'm sure you said the hard plastic ball. So you must know it hurts, and you're throwing it
Yeah.
at stuff. So let's hear some of or one of your war stories or one of your injuries that I'm sure has been painful.
Yeah. Last spring, I don't even know what we were doing, just a drill, and the goalie just like, I think I was like less than 2 feet away from her, just kicked the ball straight up into my chin, like had to get stitches. I've been hit in the nose so many times, I can't even count. Like, just, yeah, it's a really like hard ball. Like, you just get hit with it. Like, my roommate just got hit the other day in a game, and like her hand is like fractured. Like,
Oh man.
it's
Dang.
rough out there. It's not a
So
contact sport, but you make a lot of contact with the balls and the sticks, and yeah.
I played a lot of baseball, so I understand being hit by the ball and everything. It's painful regardless.
Yes. Yeah.
so you said you could only use the one side of the stick. Is
Yeah.
is both sides the same, or is it kind of like a golf club, where you have your face and
Yeah.
then
Yeah. The one side you can play on is like flat, and then some sticks have like a curve, we call it a bow, like for different types of positions. And then the other side is like curved a little bit. Like, it's not like you couldn't play on that side if you tried. It's like weird. But yeah, kind of like a golf club.
so does each position or different positions have different sticks or clubs?
Like, no and yes, they like advertise them as like, oh, this is like a stick that you should use as a defender. This is a stick you should use as a forward. And I play attack, so I play forward, and I pretty sure I use like a defender stick. Because so defense is usually the one that is throwing those balls overhead, and they need like a lower bow on the stick that they can like get underneath it. And I like to use 3D, which is like where you pick the ball up in the air and like move it. And I need like a lower bow for that.
Okay. That makes sense. I can see that 100%. So does it's I can relate on a baseball terminology there. You got first baseman's mitts. Do you have to have it? No, not really. You can use a regular
Yeah.
glove type stuff. So I can sort of relate and get that. Does the equipment change as you go up into different levels? Like, do you have to do anything different, like from high school to college? Like, I know through the
Not
ranks in
really.
baseball, you have different size baseball bats. So, do you have something different like that as you progress through, is what I'm trying to ask, I guess.
Not really. They just make like different types of sticks. Like, there's like junior sticks, and they have like less carbon in them. And then as you get older, you can get more carbon in your stick, but not too much different.
Now, how does that affect it having the more or less carbon?
Yeah, so carbon makes your stick like bouncy almost. Like, if you have a lot of carbon in your stick, the ball can like, when you go to receive it, it'll bounce off, but it's also good for shooting. So you need to be like pretty good at all your other skills if you want a high carbon stick. So that's why
Yeah.
more like advanced athletes, like mostly international or like Olympic professional athletes, use a higher carbon stick.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay. So what is your daily routines in season?
In season. Okay. So on a busy day, it would be waking up at 6 in the morning and going to lift at 6:45 and lifting for about an hour. And then I would go to class, accounting. And then I would go to Convo, which is this thing that we have at Liberty, where it's kind of like we have a speaker come every Wednesday and Friday. If I was living on dorms, but I live off campus now. And then you have to go and listen to the speaker. And then after that, I would go to another class. And then I would go to practice, which is around 2 o'clock, and it would start with treatment, and then we would do a meeting, and then we would do film, and then we would go out on the field for about 2.5 hours. So I end the day around 6. And then we have this super cool athlete dining hall that we get to go to, where it's like nutritional food. So we're not just eating all the garbage they have at the regular food court. And then after that, I would come home, do some homework, and start it over the next day.
So do you have any like pre-game rituals, superstitions, stuff like that?
In high school I used to, and then I came to college and I don't know, I felt rushed on game day even though I have a lot more time. But I like to make TikToks. I don't know if that's like, but I used to make a lot of TikToks before the games. Yeah, I mean, our team does a lot of stuff like on the pitch before we go out, but I don't know. I don't really do anything. I feel like that's boring, but
We've actually, TikToks has been a running theme for us as far as pre-game rituals.
yeah.
So we're becoming more accustomed to TikToks has been something everybody does. But if that's what it does to kind of loosen you up before you go play, by all means. I mean, some people just like headphones in their closet, leave me alone. Just that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Michael's referring probably. That's what I did always right there. So TikToks are a big, huge thing. So that's pretty cool. So have you ever tried to do a TikTok in a blowout?
Yeah. Yeah.
So can we hear the story on that? Because I'm taking it that did it go well?
The TikTok or the game
After when the
after?
coach found out that the TikTok was done during the game.
Oh, actually, no, our coaches are pretty fine with it. I mean, they used to get upset. They were like, you need to be doing more serious, like getting ready. But then we got them to do some TikToks with us, and then they started to be more chill about it. They were like, okay, whatever gets you ready. But one time we did make a TikTok, like something about winning a game. Thank goodness we didn't post it. It was like a joke TikTok because we were playing like UNC and like they're the best, and then we did not win the game, so we were like, good thing that one stayed in the drafts.
Yeah, yes, I understand.
We would have got it. There would have been a blow up after that.
So when you talk about school and while you're in season, you gave us your everyday routine. What would you say your hardest balance between the two would be? And then on the flip side, what's the easiest to balance when the season's going?
Yeah, I would say the hardest part is just not wanting to do it. Like, I always joke, like, I came to college for field hockey. Like, I would say, like, yeah, most of my focus is on field hockey, and that can get me in trouble sometimes. Because I don't know, like, you spend a lot of your day, like, playing field hockey, and then when you get home, like, you just want to go to sleep, like you're tired. And last thing I want to do is pull up some accounting homework at 10 o'clock at night and get it done by 12. But I would say the easiest part is Liberty is really has so many resources for their student athletes and people who really care about like our mental health, our physical health, our like education. Like they want to see us succeed and they know that it can be hard sometimes. And I have been set up with like really great tutors, a learning specialist that just like I'll meet with her once a week and she'll be like, this is what you have to do for the week. Let me know what tutors you want, like what times work for you to come in and just do some work. Like if you need help, talk to me. And I think that's helped so much. Like if I don't want to do it, like there's someone who wants to help me get it done, and like that makes it so much easier.
For sure. Yeah.
So, what are you studying right now?
Yeah. I've changed my major twice, but I finally landed on business and a minor of psychology.
What
Okay,
are you? Go ahead.
you had said accounting there a couple of times, but that can fall in so many areas, so I had to ask.
Yeah. We have to take accounting classes as a part of our like business, and this is my second semester of an accounting class, so it's definitely the hardest, not the hardest class I've taken, but definitely not my favorite. I don't know
Now,
if it's many people's favorites.
yeah, I would love it. It's numbers. I love numbers. So numbers are fun. It's fun, but it's very tough. So I get it. Real quick though, I wanted to ask, what did you want to run with that? What business do you want to run into going
Yeah.
forward in your career?
Yeah, I definitely don't know for sure, but I think I want to do something, or I know that I want to do something with special needs community. I don't want to be a teacher, so that's kind of why I went the business route with also with psychology. But I don't know, some sort of like here in Lynchburg, we have this thing called Harmony Days, which is like this giant building that like when they are out of high school or out of like yeah, basically when they're out of high school, they can go there during their days, and they like the people give them like things to do, jobs to do, fun things, and I don't know, I think that would be really cool to start something like that up in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That'd be fun. That'd be interesting. It would not ever get into a dull rut
Yeah,
type routine. You would always have something to do. That'd be a fun career.
yeah. And my dad's best friend, he runs something called Fitness for Focus. So it's the same thing, but it's a gym. So they like will come in and work out. And I thought that was also really cool. So it's up in the air as well.
So, what do you do outside of, what do you do for fun? Like
Um,
outside of field hockey?
Not much, but I really like to line dance. I've never line danced before, and then I came to college, and that's really big here, I guess. And I started doing that, and that was pretty fun. Um, but I think I like to go watch my other friends play a lot. We do a lot of walking, a lot of hiking, a lot of walking because we're up in the mountains. But I don't know, we don't really have too much free time, so
Yeah.
if there is, I'm sitting at home. But there's a lot of ice cream shops. I
What
do go there too.
what's your season consist of? What time frame?
Yeah, we are in the fall, so we come back to school in the beginning of July, doing like captain's practice, which is just practice without the coaches, and then preseason, and then season starts, and then we're done at the end of November or middle of November, and then we have winter break, and we come back, and we are training our butts off in the spring. Our off season is so much harder than our in season.
That's what I was about to ask. So do you just condition heavily during your off season?
Yeah, we do a lot of running, a lot of lifting, a lot of long practices that consist of running. We play 5 games in the spring. it was really cool. This spring, we actually got to play the U.S. national team, which was a big honor that they invited us. But yeah, the practices are really hard. Like, especially when you're only playing 5 games and you don't really have anything to look forward to. Like, you don't really get to see the seeds that you sowed until the fall. But yeah.
So I'm looking, it looks like your regular season schedule last year went all the way to 11-14 there. When is your off season? Do you guys get any off time?
We get winter break and we get a month, 2 months ish in the summer. But
Okay.
yeah. Some schools go back in August. Our coach likes us to be here in July. But honestly, like, you can see the pros of it because we got to go so far last year because of it. So it might suck in the moment, but it's beneficial if you want to go far.
What's one team that you have not gotten to play yet that you would love to play?
I would really like to play Penn State because my really good friend goes there, and we both played together all through high school, all through club, and I don't know, we're very competitive, so I'd want to play Penn State to see how that would go.
What has been your favorite team you've played so far? Like a dream come true. Like, oh man, that's so awesome. I got to play this team.
I would say Duke because every time we play them, it's been such a good game. And like, I don't know, like they're always in the top 5 and like the past 2 years that I've been here, we've beat them and but really close games. This year we came back, we were down 3 goals and we came back and won 4-3. Like it was just such a cool game.
That's what I'm looking at here. That was actually your opener too, it looks
Yeah.
like. That's a amazing way to open the season, right?
Yeah.
So what's
who was your
Go ahead, Bonnie.
Who was your idol in the sport growing up?
I would say in the sport, so in high school, my idol was definitely Jill Bolton, which was a girl who went here and she was just like insane, like just like a powerhouse for the sport. And like she was like an unknown kind of person. And then like her last few years, like she really just like went crazy. Like she was insane. Like she was the Honda Award winner, like All-American, like just a beast. But I would say leading up to high school, definitely my mom. She played field hockey in college. Like she helped pave the way to get me to where I was. So can't not look up to her. Like, and then Linda Kreiser, she was my high school coach, and she is, I want to say she's in her 70s, and she is still playing field hockey for like the Masters teams. And
Oh
like
wow.
she's just like such an inspirational woman. Like everybody who goes through our high school program like looks up to her, respects her. Like I don't know, she's just amazing.
Well, shout out to all 3 of those remarkable
Yeah.
women. You know,
Yeah.
they have gotten you to this point. So shout out to all 3 of them as well. So we really appreciate that. What does your finals look like when you get into that in-game tournament? Like you got March Madness for basketball, you got regional, super regionals, and so on and so forth. So what does y'all's bracket look like?
Yeah, so since there's not that many teams for field hockey, it starts at the Sweet 16. Um, there's no 64 round of 64. Like there's probably only like 100 teams in that have
Okay.
NCAA field hockey, for D1 at least. And so we do our like conference championship. So for the Big East, we go semifinal, then championship. I know it's different for other conferences that might have more, or or like, because like ACC and Big Ten, like those are the two big conferences, so they'll have more teams playing in their conference championship, and then yeah, Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, championship.
Okay. So how do
many
you
teams?
how do you qualify? And yeah, like Michael said. Yeah, go ahead, Michael. You can ask the second part of that.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how many teams do you have in the Big East?
We just lost one. Quinnipiac just dropped out. Not dropped out. They moved to a different one. But in the Big East, it's UConn, Old Dominion, Villanova, Georgetown, us, Providence.
Okay.
So 6. And I'm sure they'll add someone in soon.
So how do you qualify to get to the Sweet 16?
For the Big East, you have to win your conference, and then if you did well, then you'll get like, and you didn't win, you'll get like a bid. If your like record was good or you did well that season and but you didn't win the conference, you'll get in. But then for like the ACC or Big Ten, they'll take the winner, the runner up, and then maybe someone else who had a good record as well.
That makes sense. I wasn't for sure how all that worked.
When I looked, you all were number 7 in the nation, I suppose. Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
So y'all, I'll ask this question. What is 2 questions here as well? You've got 2 years left to finish out. So what do you want to accomplish while you're there? What's your biggest team and accomplishment right now?
Yeah, I would say obviously like win a national championship. I think we're fully capable of it. I mean, I think we didn't lose a lot of people from last year, and we're gaining some really good players as well in the fall, and I think, and we got some in the spring as well. But I think like our team is very capable of winning a national championship very, very soon. And then of course just continue to win the Big East.
So what about individually? What is something you want to accomplish that you haven't yet?
I mean, All-American would be pretty cool. I don't know if that'll happen, but I don't know. Like, I just want to be like a good teammate. Like, I just want to be, like when people are done, like they can say like, oh, like she was a great teammate. Like she gave it her all every game. Like she was just a good person to be around. Type of deal. You know?
That's really awesome. What's your biggest accomplishment so far that you're proudest of?
I don't know. Honestly, I haven't really. I struggled my freshman year, but then this past year I started and scored a good amount of goals. So I would say just starting and getting to represent my team every game on the pitch.
I mean, anytime you can, the girl is definitely being modest, because anytime you can be a starter for the number 17 team in the nation, I believe you're doing well, Bunny.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Raymond, do you have anything else tonight?
No, ma'am. I just want to say again, thank you, truly thank you, for everything being on the interview, giving us a little knowledge of it. It's been amazing to have you on here, and we truly, truly appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for reaching out.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Appreciate you for your time. So, and we'll keep in touch and watch after, and glad to have you back on.
Absolutely.
So,
Of course. Thank you so much.
all right.
It's great.
Thank you, everybody. And we're here with Avery Pollock, and this is Excessive BS, local and loud.